is going to end up with brown or black eyes. You're not going to tell me that you're going to see somebody one day with green eyes, and another day you see them with brown eyes, right? This happens all the time. What's making that happen? These are things right in front of your face that most people don't take note of. So what's happening with these people? Something else is taken in. This is why I need to tell you about the initiations they actually take. We can all concede, most of us, that all of them take initiations, right? We can all concede that after the second term, the second term of any presidency, something happens to the president. They're very different, aren't they? How can somebody change that fast? How can they do that? How can they do that? You ever ask yourself that? It's just not one or two. All of them have done the same thing. It's almost like they're maintained up until a certain point, and then something takes its toll. They start to look sick. They look needy, wore out, tired, and everything else, don't they? All that's part of the initiation. They're told things before they ever happen. That's why they don't worry like you do. Because they know things you don't, right? They have something assisting them. Do you guys remember during the debates, President Obama sat there with a blank face? I mean, he was gone. Nobody was home. Did you see that? During the debates, right before his second election, did you see the empty look on his face as though no one was home? He went blank. He was gone. He was not there. He's not the only one that happened to. It happened to Bush too. Happened to Clinton too. Happened to Reagan a couple times. And here's the funny part. Their wives consult with spirits. All of them, they consult with spirits. They have seances. All of them have seances. They don't call it that today. It's kind of like this UFO nonsense, right? Which are really fallen angels. Back in the past, they showed up as airships with propellers. Over the course of time, they changed. Back in the time before the flood, they came in one form, exactly what the people wanted to see. How could they be airships in the 1800s and the 1200s, 1400s? All of a sudden now they're these advanced crafts. That makes no sense, right? It's not about anti-gravity or anything else. That's the stupidest thing I ever heard. And you have a lot of this. Listen, if you hear the words, well, we have taken our technology from them, you're being deceived a little bit. You are. You're being deceived. Ancient ruins are one thing. But what they do is not based off anti-gravity. We already accomplished that through electromagnetism. That happened during the time of Hitler, so you don't have to worry about that, all right? But the rest of them are trying to make you believe. Listen to what they're trying to make you believe, and you're buying it hook, line, and sinker. This is and people say, well, I stand against, it's good that Christians will say, I stand against those things, and I stand with my Lord. That's good. That's very good, because the truth is, they're demonic entities. That's what they are. And these initiations that they take, have you ever seen one? You hear screaming, you hear hollering, you hear mock executions, mock sacrifices, and everything else. Do you really know what's happening in those initiations? It is said that prior to the initiations, a person, you know their character. After the initiation, the person is different, they change. So what they're doing is this. Before their initiation, there are things they have to do. There are ceremonies they have to have. They have to get their bodies prepared to accept something. What are they accepting? They're accepting the spirit. The spirit of a demonic entity into themselves. That's what they're accepting. That's exactly what they accept. And so the person often, after their initiation, learns how to cohabitate with that other spirit. So it's not about sacrifices at all. It's about preparing someone to be possessed. That's what it's about. That's what they do. That's what's been happening. And it's very difficult for Christians to accept this for some reason. It's almost like they're blind to this. Yet something inside you is telling you every single day of your life that something is wrong with those people. How can they do these evil things? Because why? Because they believe in Satan. They believe in Satan. All right? They refer to Lucifer as 1,000 points of light. Satan is, here's what they believe. They believe that people on earth, here's what they believe, honestly, people on earth, when they die, they pass to a higher state of being who come back to help the people of earth. How stupid is that? Isn't that dumb? This is what they believe. That's why they invite spirits in their lives. But they still worship Lucifer openly, right? They will tell you that they worship the king of the world. They call him master. And if one of those high priests comes up to anybody, they can endow want to see what you deeply desire to see. So do the other fallen angels. And that's how they made it with these women. They appeared to them how they wanted to see them. Then they made it with them. They didn't care about the women because the women died afterward. They had their mind set on accomplishing for their children to be here to take over. Now you got to ask yourself, what in the world were they trying to do? I know you heard every explanation from, they've been on a rampage to stop Christ from coming, but they also wanted their children to rule this earth like they do now. We got to go way off the rails today, so I hope you're listening. So in these meetings in secret societies, there are many of them who have these spiritual guides with them. And that's when the full the things walk through the wall. In the guise of somebody knows in there. Right? These spirits do that to these people. Who are these people? Well, you see these people all the time. All the time. Because everybody is bought and paid for. All the people you see on television, you have to ask yourself, how can these people continue to tell these stories? And even they know they're false or something like that. How can they do that? How can they just sit up and lie? Because to them it's not lying, it's saving the world. They have truly been deceived. How could a spirit ever deceive you? Your desires. Whatever you desire to see, they could manifest in that form. And if you begin to commune and talk to them, you're going to be stuck for a while. But the elites have already done it. And you can see it if you get close to them. I'll give you a small hint. You ready for this? If you ever see a politician in an old picture, they have different eye colors than they do now. Is that a big enough hint? Oh, by the way, their eye color seems to change based upon the topic they're talking about. Is that a good hint for you? How about that one? You're not going to tell me that somebody with blue eyes is going to end up with brown or black eyes. Well, in the guise of somebody knows in there. Right? These spirits do that to these people. Who are these people? Well, you see these people all the time. All the time. Because everybody is bought and paid for. All the people you see on television, you have to ask yourself, how can these people continue to tell these stories? And even they know they're false or something like that. How can they do that? How can they just sit up and lie? Because to them it's not lying, it's saving the world. They have truly been deceived. How could a spirit ever deceive you? Your desires. Whatever you desire to see, they could manifest.
Have you ever been deceived in your past? Have you ever deceived somebody? Have you ever deceived somebody on purpose? Have you ever deceived somebody accidentally? Have you ever been deceived on purpose? Have you ever been deceived accidentally? Have you ever been deceived?